Hi everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first ever long form content. I usually post shorts, but I decided as my first long video I would do a facts about me. So I have a few things that I'd like to share with you, and it'd be kind of like you get to know me as my first video. So let's get right into it, and if you're new here, click that subscribe button for more videos. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Amy. I'm 23 years old and I live in Canada, and I've lived here my whole life. I've actually never left the country. I've traveled to a few places within Canada. I have 2 cats. One is 14 and one is 5. The 14-year-old cat, her name is Skippy, and the 5-year-old cat is named Murphy. My favorite food at the moment is probably anything to do with pasta. I love lasagna, spaghetti, anything like that, especially with a side of garlic bread. Some of my hobbies, recently I've been getting into bracelet making and making some keychains. But as for my other hobbies, I really like to read. I like to do yoga and work out. Usually dance workouts are my favorite. I was actually in dance class for about 7 years when I was younger. I also love to bake. I'm not the best at it, but I'm trying to learn. So far, I've taught myself how to bake cookies, brownies, and chocolate chip banana bread. Those are my 3 favorite things that I bake right now. But I'd love to learn how to bake some more. My favorite color currently is blue. It changes sometimes, but right now it's blue. Next fact is my biggest dream or my aspiration in life. I've always wanted to start my own business, like my own crafting business, and I mentioned earlier that I started making bracelets and I've started making some keychains, but I also want to teach myself how to do like digital art and other arts and crafts, maybe journals, bulletins, to-do lists, things like that, and start selling them online. Right now I've started making bracelets and I'm only selling them to close friends and family, but I do hope to expand that in the future. So stay tuned for that. And I've just always wanted to start my own business, so I thought finding something that I'm good at, it would be a fun way to start, and it would also help me to get started because sometimes the hardest thing is to just get started. So moving on from that, I graduated high school in 2020, so I am a COVID graduate. So my graduation looked a little bit different than maybe yours did. We had to do smaller groups because it was quarantine, and so we had to split into 4 different groups to do the graduation, which was fine by me because I'm a very quiet person, so I prefer smaller groups to larger ones, and I'm very, very shy. So doing this video right now is kind of helped me step out of my comfort zone a little bit and try new things. But yes, I did graduate in 2020, and it was a lot different of a graduation than people are used to. You know, I didn't have a prom, I didn't have any parties or anything like that. I'm sure people had their own small ones, but I just didn't feel like having one or going to any because of the restrictions that were in place. So the next fact is my favorite movie genre, which is horror movies. I love scary movies, and I've watched all the Conjuring movies at least once, maybe twice. I've only seen the new one time. I went to the theaters to see that one, but I love, love, love horror movies. And on that topic, my all-time favorite movie is surprisingly not a horror movie. It is Miracles from Heaven, which is based on a true story. And I recommend you checking it out. It is such a good movie. It actually makes me so emotional every time. And knowing that it's a true story makes it all the more meaningful. The next fact, kind of staying on the topic of favorites, my favorite fast food restaurant at the moment is between Wendy's and Subway. I've been eating a lot of Subway lately. I think it's a healthier alternative than maybe a burger from McDonald's, but I've been eating Subway a lot and also Wendy's. So I'd say those are my top 2 favorites right now. Favorite season is fall. Definitely fall. I'm definitely a fall girly. I love pumpkin spice. I love all the leaves changing colors, the cool crisp air, and just all the warm drinks and all the cozy vibes that you get in fall. think fall has to be my absolute favorite, but I also do like summer. But I prefer some colder weather over hotter weather because you can always bundle up in blankets and hoodies, and I think that's like my favorite part about fall is all the cozy clothes and all the flannels and fall colors. And also related to that, my favorite holiday, I think my favorite holiday would have to be Christmas because I just love all the lights, spending time with my family and giving gifts. And it's not all about the receiving gifts, but I love to gift people, so I think Christmas is like the best opportunity for me to do that. I also love all the food that we get to eat and like this family time and just staying cozy and watching Christmas movies, and again bundling up with a cup of hot chocolate and just enjoying being indoors away from the cold. I don't like the snow. That's about the only part I don't like about the Christmas season and like winter in general. I don't really like snow, but I'm in Canada, so I should be used to it, but I still don't really enjoy it. But I do say Christmas is my favorite holiday of all time, just because of all the coziness and the family together time and giving gifts and eating a good meal together. Last fact about me is my favorite book series. I think my all-time favorite book series is Heartstopper. I love the books. I love Alice Oseman as an author. I think she's just brilliant. But the show Heartstopper is also really, really good, and I'd say it would be my favorite TV show. But Heartstopper is definitely my favorite book series. And if you haven't checked it out already, I recommend it. They're like comic graphic novels, so they're not a hard read. They're not a long read by any means. So if you're not really a reader, like, I think they're a pretty good start if you wanted to get into reading maybe as a hobby. But they're not very long, and they're an easy read, and they're just really, really, really good books. So I think that's all the facts that I have for today. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to be posting a lot more long form content, so let me know in the comments what you would like to see from me. And if you're new, please subscribe, like, and comment. And I'll see you guys in the next video.